Dear Mordstrom, my name is Masumi Rodriguez and my two partners, Vanessa, Violo, and Joanna are here to pitch you on our Khalil copper beer bottle. Beer has been around for centuries and is one of the most consumed drinks in the world. That being said, beer has gone through many innovations and there is always something new when it comes to its packaging. Our focus on the substrate are in bottle form. One of the most common substrate used within the category are glass bottles. These are 100% recyclable and 80% of the bottles are recovered to produce new glass products. They have substantial vertical strength, which is essential for vertical stacking, storage, and transportation. However, glass bottles are very heavy, which leads to extreme high energy manufacturing and shipping costs. When we look at the bigger picture, the use of glass bottle is not the greenest option available. Furthermore, PET bottles are fairly new innovation in beer packaging. The benefits are that it's 86% lighter than glass bottles. Also, gas barrier technology prevents oxygen from getting in the bottle, and it uses less energy in the glass or aluminum. Additionally, fewer greenhouse gas emissions and less solid waste are generated. On top of it all, PET bottles are less likely to break, reducing the use of secondary packaging. Some drawbacks are that PET bottles also contain BPA. Also, the process of making the bottles uses millions of gallons of water, and the bottle tops are not recyclable, which causes a major disruption to many ecosystems. Reason being, Khalil copper bottle offers economic and environmental benefits of recycling copper. During the recycling process, copper producers minimizes the harmful effect on the environment. Recycling actually helps to keep the cost of copper product down. It is cheaper to recycle old copper than to mine and extras new copper. Although the recycled copper can be worth up to 90% of the original cost, which means it's sustaining the quality of the product. As well, it takes as much less energy to recycle copper rather than extract from ore. There are two commonly used technology to create packaging label within beer packaging: screen printing and paper label. Screen printing creates a physical label onto the substrate. Durable ink is baked on the bottle with ultraviolet light if UV inks are used. The end result gives us a design which looks higher quality and won't tear off the bottle, although the high cost associated with screen printing can essentially lower the profit of our product. The cheaper alternative to the label production is the use of paper labels. These labels are most commonly printed by either gravure, offset, or digital printing processes. Some benefits are that the paper labels are cheaper than screen printing labels. They are more commonly seen amongst breweries and are familiar to consumers. Some of the drawbacks to paper labels are less durable than screen printing, and they may be damaged during shipping. So, we must be careful with the substrate to avoid for this to happen. The adhesive must also be applied to the label to make sure it is stuck properly to the substrate. In terms of profit, Khalil Copper Co. is strategically planned to maximize profitability since our bottles will be offered in 1-liter bottles rather than single-serving portions. This will decrease our use in printing an excessive amount of labels. Using offset printing process, which allows to produce high-quality image for a much lower price than gravure, to print the job will be cost and time efficient for our product.
It is important that all of your packages be accessible to the largest consumer base possible. In Japan, many breweries have introduced Braille onto aluminum cans to benefit visually impaired people. The Braille is stamped on the top lid of a can, spelling out alcohol or the name of a particular brewery. Pry-off bottle caps have been used for decades in the brewery industry. However, they may be challenging to open and do not provide much convenience to consumers. Therefore, twist-off caps have been introduced to aid accessibility in opening beer bottles. Many brands such as Miller and Heineken use secondary packaging. They add a sturdy handle to the top of the carrier, which makes it much easier to carry. LCBO Product Packaging Standards PDF explains the technical specifications of packaging that must be taken into account when a retailer decides to sell their beer through an LCBO store. Package regulations are considered on shipping container markings, codes, and design specs, as well as on consumer unit labels, trailers, intermodal containers, and tamper-evident packaging. For example, all flutes with facings and corrugating mediums of cartons, trays, liners, pads, and partitions must be constructed from either craft paper or recycled paperboard, weighing no less than 26 pounds per 1,000 square feet. In terms of nutrition regulations, the nutrition facts tables are not required on the packaging unless there is a claim made towards any nutritional content. In addition, claims such as organic or pure must meet the requirement for the Canadian Organic Standard. Beer packaging is always coming out with new innovation and ways to attract consumers. Some recent trends include interactive packaging with consumers. Heineken is a brand that really showed interaction on their products, the Heineken Experience. A GPS was inserted into the bottle cap of a Heineken beer. The bottle had an LED navigation arrow and vibration mechanism, which guided the consumer to follow a route towards a Heineken brewery. The purpose of this experiment was to educate consumers about the history and products of Heineken. Biodegradable packaging is a trend that is getting consumers more involved with helping out the planet. Carlsberg Project is a partnership with Carlsberg and EcoPack that is in the process of creating a 100% biodegradable bottle that generates zero waste. The bottle is made out of wood fibers and complies with all food and beverage regulations. It is said to hit shelves by 2018. Authentic designs are another new trend. Many craft breweries are designing their beer packages with an authentic vintage design, incorporating craft paper, twine, old-school flip-top caps, and rustic colors to create a home-brewed feel with the consumer. Many of these breweries intend to share their story with their packaging and want consumers to have an authentic experience while sipping on their craft brew. There have been many innovators throughout the years who have come out with new ideas for beer packaging. Martin's Hotel is a Belgian-based brewery that was the first company to print directly onto PET bottles. This is done by using direct print powered by KHS. In addition, Martin's Hotel created a promotion campaign that consisted of interactivity on the beer bottle, enabling the consumer to talk to the printed characters using their smartphones or tablets. Anheuser-Busch created Occulto packaging, a label technology using LED lights powered by printed paper batteries. The glass bottle is lit up once pressure is applied to certain parts of the bottle, and the lights shine through the mask of the skull on the bottle's label.
Our product enhances the aesthetic and identity of the beer for the consumers. Our main resource of copper comes from the recycled and repurposed copper material. It is important to us to reuse material that have already been made and innovating ways to reuse these by creating products like beer bottles and making it available to our consumers. Copper has been used in beer brewing industry within the beginning of times, therefore creating a link between the substrate of the product and the packaging. As well, copper acts as a thermos, keeping the beverage ice cold, which is beneficial for beer drinkers. It will be sealed with a resealable copper lid, making the bottle reusable for other purposes. The copper bottle has an interior lining of stainless steel, which is safe for our consumers. This unique packaging brings benefits environmental sustainability and creating consumer relations with their product. As you can see at LCBO, we have not found anything just as unique as our product. Thank you for your time.